I welcome you to this interesting time. And let me just read as an introduction. It is a known fact that Ghanaian youths, especially in Amsterdam, are being plagued by poverty and joblessness. This is a matter of deep social and economic concern for the local government. Although measures allegedly have been put in place to help correct the problem, the reality on the ground is totally different. What is the cause of the problem? Why has it persisted? What actually is being done? And which risks are we facing if no solution is found? So joining us to discuss these important social and economic matters today are Mr. Douglas Konado. Can you say hello to Radio Voice of Naija listeners?
Yeah, hello to your listeners of Radio Voice of Naija. Yeah.
I'm so proud of Douglas. Thank you for coming, please.
Thank you.
And we also have another dynamic youngster, Kwesi Atta, please. Kwesi, can you say hello to Radio Voice of Naija listeners?
Hello, Radio Voice of Naija listeners.
Are you happy to be here, Kwesi?
Of course, yes.
I can see that. You need to see their young faces and they are full of exuberance. Now, we also have a young, dynamic woman who is really in the economic, in the financial sector. So she is here because she wants to really buttress this discussion and also to throw some inner lights to what we're supposed to know about the economy of this time. So we have Miss Caroline Ayukumbi. Can you say hello to Radio Voice of Naija listeners, please, honey?
Hello, Voice of Naija listeners. It's a pleasure to come to you this morning, and we hope that you will take some actionable steps today. Just listen very carefully today, and we will be able to help you take some actions today that will change your tomorrow.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. It's always a pleasure having you. And then we have the fourth guest who is still on the way coming because he said he thought it was in the evening hours, and he's just on his way. So feel free once again to give us a call as we delve into this issue, spotlighting poverty among the Ghanaian youths. Now, here's a piece of an article published on the website of divosa.nl. So, since 2008, more minimum income households have increased in Amsterdam. Although the total population of Amsterdam has increased along with the number of households with minimum income, however, the poverty is concentrated in the neighborhoods in New West, North, and Southeast. So the position of youth remaining fragile despite the positive trend in the percentage of people with minimum income households, which has been falling since 2007. A quarter of young people in Amsterdam are being raised in minimum income households, and poverty is relatively common among young people of non-Western origin. For instance, 40% of the Moroccan youths are growing up in poverty, and in the case of young Ghanaians, this is even 48%. Also, the proportion of minimum of young people growing up in single-parent families has increased, and also young people have lived in minimum income households for more than 3 years. So for Adman Frick Osil, poverty reduction remains a major concern. The chances of children should not be limited by the wallets of their parents, and here we must all work together. So from this above article, it paints a clear picture of the poverty situation among Ghanaian youths. So now, can each of our youths share their perspective to this report?
Well, I'll start with that. Yeah, the facts are quite shocking, I think, but not surprising.
Yeah.
That is mainly because we are all aware of the fact that that people who come in from the African countries usually already, as soon as they land in Holland, already have are already behind in a lot of factors, especially because of the yeah, the culture that we bring with us. I think usually we find it very difficult to completely integrate into the new system.
Okay.
And the biggest barrier in Holland, I think, is the language for most people. You need to be able to study the language very well before you can elevate yourself.
We're not really, yes, it's true, Douglas, can you increase your volume a little bit more?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll get closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what you are saying to the audience is that the reason why there could be poverty among the Ghanaian youths could be as a result of difficulty in integration.
Definitely, yeah. And I think usually it starts from the parents. I think our main goal of coming here is to seek economic, to improve in our economic situation. That seems to be the main point, of course. Our parents are usually more focused on work, rather than integration into the system. And
it's true.
That affects the young ones. It is, this is empirically proven that when children come from backgrounds of poverty or economic hardships, as you said, are raised from low-income families, that they are more likely to face similar economic hardships.
Yes, but that's why you've studied. You are an ex-product of University of Amsterdam, and you studied economics.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. So you are ready to break the power of poverty. To crush it.
Ready for that.
All right. So what do you have to say? Kwesi, do you buy to what he has just said now? What Douglas have just spoken, do you buy to it?
Yeah, in some ways I think he's perfectly right. Because most of us, let me say, we are talking about the poverty among the youth.
Yes.
That is the underlying word. And the youth here, what I'm seeing, I have not been very long here, but what I'm seeing is the youth here.
Yeah.
Most of them, when it's not bad although, but looking at it, they are more getting into marriage or making family so early than what we, because it's something else.
Yeah.
Because most of them, when they are schooling, instead of them, because we the Ghanaians, let me say, because that's the topic, we the Ghanaians or the Africans, we are really talented in education, when it comes to education.
Okay.
Because looking at the education over here, education system over here, the African one is very hard. So when they, especially those that they learn a little from there before coming, when they are through with the language, you see them that they are making it over here. But instead of them to concentrate, you see them...
They're making babies.
Making babies and they lock over there. Because when you make the babies in some ways,
it's true.
It's really hard for some people to get into education again.
Yes.
Although when they go, the government assists them a little. It's really hard for them.
Yes.
So how do you expect? Because you can't. It's when you are doing comparison with someone who has go to or who is well educated and working, and someone who is at give birth and maybe doing cleaning or something like that, the salary level is not the same.
It's true. It's true.
So I think this is one point that is really bringing the poverty to the Africans or the migrants or the Ghanaians over here. And I think that's the first point that I will make. Maybe as time goes on, if I don't know if I have more time.
So if you have more things to say, you can. If you want to contribute more. But Douglas, you heard what Kwesi said.
Yeah.
And you studied here. You studied here. You grew up here. Probably you are born here.
No, I was not born here. I've been here only for 7.5 years now.
All right.
And yeah, I've been through not the entire breadth of the education system.
Yeah.
But from high school level.
Yeah.
What I found in high school was that there were differences. Obviously, some people struggle more with the language than others. But what I found is that the people who were ready to, who were more focused on making it, they worked hard, and in the end,
among the Ghanaian youth.
That's because in my school there were a lot of other Africans as well, and we all had a similar background.
And they struggled so much.
Yeah. So what I always what I would like to add to what Brother Kwesi said is that I recognize that some of the youth are more
into making babies. Say it the way it is.
Yeah, that happens. I think that it's a result of the poverty rather than a cause. Because that's something that we see in Africa as well. A lot of that, a lot of young girls who get into teenage pregnancy and as a consequence are not able to develop their full potential.
And you are saying, how does that tally with poverty, honey? Yes.
I mean, in Holland.
Yes, because.
It shouldn't happen that way because there are a lot of opportunities here.
Yes.
So it should never be the case that young girls or boys are forced into or should find themselves in the situation where they are forced into early kind of relationships where they have to get pregnant quick and
so because of the early pregnancy, then it results to them not having good education, and then not as well having good jobs.
It's a bit of a vicious, a bit of a circle there. When you're from a poor background,
exactly,
it might push you into the kind of relationship that will get you pregnant, and therefore not be able to help yourself to a higher standard of education.
It's true.
And when you have the kid, like you said, whether you're a boy or a girl, that is also going to have a lot of influence on you. It's gonna.
So, in other words, if I can take this from your mouth, what you are trying to let our audience understand here clearly is that the level of poverty that do exist in the homes that the children or the youngsters are coming from determines the level of exposure they have and the level of education.
Yeah, it is a factor. It is a determining factor. It's not the only factor, of course, but it is one of the many factors that that keeps the poverty amongst those who are coming from poor backgrounds.
Wow. Yes, Kwesi.
Yeah, I think I buy some of the ideas that my brother is bringing, but look at it in the whole Europe. Let's take Europe for instance, because I have stayed in Italy a bit.
Yes.
And looking at Italy, we don't have anything called social over there.
Okay.
Social.
Yes.
I only heard it over here.
Yes.
Because Italy, the mafias, when you implement this, the country will totally collapse, so they don't have it. And here, I mean, they have that little support.
Yes.
That just school. Because here, when you are schooling, to a certain level, I think even the government give you some card that you can use it for transport free.
Mm-hmm.
When you go around Europe, it's little of the countries that they have this system.
Yes.
Yeah, in some ways I buy his idea that some homes you have to, because I know some Ghanaian homes that they bring the children just to work, to help them to support the
family.
Or the family.
They bring them from Africa just to come and work.
Yeah, because looking at their age, they could have at least schooled over here.
Exactly.
But the pressure the pressure upon them, they have to just school to help the home.
I know to work. They have to work.
They have to work. I know some homes that it's like that. But when you are really determined,
yes.
you can as well school and work at the same time, even though the money will not be like full-time working. You can do that. Because I can see that, but that social tool help the youth go into any family or giving birth. Yeah, because they know that when I give birth, and in some ways I lie to the state that no, I'm single parent, I'm going to get more money from the state.
Right.
So why don't I mean, the question is, why don't I go into that? Because looking at world or Europe, I think here relationship, we have some this thing that is really common here, like gay, this thing. So you see the youth getting into relationship more early.
Wow.
They go into relationship more early.
Yes. So the purpose is that they go in there to be able to tap into the social healthcare, the social welfare.
Maybe.
So they prefer to have social welfare than to go to school, go to good school, and then get good qualification and then get good job.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the reasons why the migrant youths, especially the Ghanaians, are poor. All right. Now we want to tackle it from the economic point of view. That's why Miss Caroline is here. Caroline, tell us a little bit of your job and tell us what is really happening now. This situation of is it this crisis that our youngsters are having or going through? Is it as a result of the low education and also the poor family lifestyle, or is there something more than that?
Yes, I do believe what Douglas and Brother Kwesi have said. You can see you have all these reasons. They all accumulate to one. They come to one. There is one reason here. There is another reason here. Maybe early birth and the rest of that stuff. But it all boils down, I believe, to knowledge. It all boils down to knowledge, because I believe that the social structure of Holland, is an incentive in itself. Like Kwesi just said, it is an incentive. And so young people think, okay, if I cannot succeed at school, hey, there is a lot of money here that can help me, and therefore let me just go have the children. And I would want to say that role models are so much more important in the community. If we don't have the role models who are able to encourage children regarding education, then the problem is just going to continue. But it must come to a point where there must be a stop. Like Douglas said, it is like a cycle now. And so therefore there must be a point where we can break that cycle. The question is, how do we do it? But the truth is, poverty is a reality, but it is not the truth. There's a difference. Poverty is a reality, but it is not the truth. And so the truth is that poverty is a mindset. And so therefore, if the Gemeente wants to be able to break this cycle, I think they have to come up with programs where the youth are being taught on how to change their mind in relation to the social structure of the nation. Because the social structure of the nation, it will not change. The amount of money, and anybody who is in need right now, you must have received a letter that by the 1st of January, things are going to change. And so it's not going to be any better. It's not going to be any better. You can be sure of that. The population is increasing, more people are losing their jobs, less people are working, and it comes a point where that system cannot sustain itself anymore. And therefore, people have to start thinking outside the box.
Exactly.
You have to start thinking outside the box at this point in time. You may be there, but let it be a temporal something. It shouldn't be something that you focus on for the next 5 years. I'm going to be in the socials. Situations might come up that throw you into the system. But why don't you look at this as it's a fallback situation where the government has put something in place to help you, to assist you, but don't let it be part of your life. If something happens and you have no control over, you can fall back and know that, okay, my government is there to support me. But it shouldn't be something that you aspire to. You shouldn't aspire that, oh, I'm going to have children because I'm going to go to the socials.
Yeah.
I was there for a couple of years. I have been in it for a couple of years.
Yes.
And I know what I'm telling you. You cannot make progress because there are things attached to it.
Yes.
If you are listening and you're a youth and you're thinking of having children, please stop.
Exactly.
Stop.
Yes.
And think about what you're going to put yourself through, because you want to be able to look into your future. Hey, technology is out there. You guys spend a lot of money on mobile technology. Why don't you use that to your advantage?
Yes.
The internet is there available for you. Use it to your advantage. Don't spend the money there and left and right and then just squander everything. Use them and find out information that can help you. So for me, I'm saying there are programs that I think the city can put in place,
Yes, exactly,
to help young people work on their minds in relation to the social structure.
Yes. Exactly.
Rather than all the, you can throw, America has fought poverty for years by throwing money at it. Guess what? You can win $1 million today, but if your mindset is not ready for it, within a year or two, you become even broke than ever. So the mindset thing is the focus of the community.
This is awesome. Thank you so much for that. Yes, for that contribution. Yes, we have someone here.
The question is to Douglas. Now, you were in University of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You were with other Ghanaians. Can you tell us what you saw in terms of their ambition, their perspective on this issue we're talking about? Were they out there also determined to beat poverty and to get better and to stand out in society, or you still saw this kind of mediocre thinking, which Douglas has mentioned, where some of them are having that, okay, we have a backbone, the state will give, support us, so it doesn't matter what we turn out to be. Give us a sense of what kind of mindset they had on campus over there. I mean, the Ghanaian.
I think I'll have to answer that question, give a bit of a background information on that. I think there are two types of youth.
Yes.
When it comes to this matter, there are those who come here at an early stage in their lives, like myself. I came here when I was 15 years old.
Yes.
And when I went to school, there were a lot of my friends that I came.
That was in high school.
In high school, who were also around my age, and I can assure you that they are all now in very good schools. Some of them are studying next to and working as well, like myself.
Yes.
So that is a group of youth who come here early.
Yes.
They're able to integrate into the system. Most of us almost entirely, and they progress. They really progress. They are not part of this poverty issue.
Okay.
But there's a second group of people, right, who are not, who do not come. Some are born here. Those who are born here, I think they probably are also part of the other group, of the first group that I talked about. So some are not always
above 18.
Yeah, but some come here around 18, 20 years from that time on. And when they come here, the focus is mainly on work, like brother Kwesi was talking about. The focus is mainly on work, and that means when the education level with which you're coming from in Ghana is too low to be able to really get high income jobs, and if you're not ready, or if you're not going to get the chance to study and really gain a lot of education in the Netherlands, and get relevant skills in the new country that you have come in, is really going to be difficult.
Yes, they have the language barrier already.
Exactly, that as well. So for that,
their certificates will not be.
And when they
I have a problem with, look, this is a very serious issue, and I think we should tackle it with all seriousness.
Yes.
Why would other ethnic groups be succeeding? There are people from Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, the rest of them. They integrate better than the Ghanaian youth do, or the Ghanaians do, for that matter. And we are here with the 48% unemployment rate or poverty rate or something like that. It's serious. We're the highest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something we are ashamed about and seriously think about what to do. So I really want us to discuss seriously and find a way to crack this problem because it's not good.
Yeah. But they're also saying it has to do with their parents as well, because most of the Ghanaian parents here are working very, very hard from morning till evening, and so trying to make ends meet. So they do not have the possibility of sending their kids to the right schools, and at the same time, they do not have the ability to stay at home the time to be watching to make sure that these kids grow up to become really the children that they want them to be.
But everybody is working or not. Everybody, people from
but those who are
other countries are
having
working.
time for your children too is
yes, the indigenous. I mean, they work maybe for 4 hours or
No. People from other African countries, Morocco, Algeria, East Africa.
I think
other places.
if I can
Yes,
finish my
go ahead.
point there, I think one of the problems is Ghanaian, the youth, the second type of youth that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Along with their parents, they're living two lives actually. You're
lives.
trying to live your life here, but you also got a whole bunch of family back home who are also dependent on
that little boy, on the youngster.
Well,
all of the family.
so yeah, they have to. Sometimes they have to chip in as well, you know. And especially like if you're young and you're coming from Ghana, from Africa, when you get here, you might not be as you might not be as related to the rest of the family back home as the older people are. But those who are a bit older, so around 18, 20 thereabouts, they're usually they're usually expected, the rest of the family expect them to help,
contribute their quota.
Because, there's so much more, there's more money flowing in from migrants abroad to Africa than than the money that goes in from governments as help for development help, So it's not an issue of that they might not be making enough here.
Yeah.
They might also have to chip in back home, and that might also be a part of the problem.
And I think those that they got a chance to study here,
yes,
they have all the qualities.
Do they really have the good jobs?
I think
That's another thing.
most of them have good jobs.
Do they really have it?
But how they are spending their money is something else.
Speak.
Because when I came here, I was looking for help, so I went to about 2 or 3 big churches where I was thinking that I could have got help from. I went there. The maximum that there was one church. The maximum that I went was about 3.
Yes.
3 times or 3 Sundays. Because the first day that I went, I was going to churches to find a help.
Yes.
I went to one church first Sunday. The second Sunday that I went, a certain lady told me that, oh guy, last week I saw you wearing this shirt and this week too you are wearing the same. When you go to that church, especially the ladies, how I'm talking about how they spend the money. They get it, some get the money, but how they spend it. You will see someone wearing a heel and getting about 2 one slippers and maybe 1 sandals to inside her bag.
Yes.
And you cannot wear 2 dresses maybe this Sunday and the following Sunday. No, you have to change. And when they tell you the prices of that, what they are wearing, you will be shocked.
Really?
And how they are spending their money in technology things like the
yes, they have
phones here and there.
Yes.
So some too are having. But how they are spending it, it's like challenging. They are challenging themselves.
Yeah, they're competing.
Yeah, they are competing to themselves. So they get it. But how they are competing to themselves too is making them spending the money anyhow.
Wow.
And it's making some guys to going into some works that they are not supposed to do. I mean,
Really?
some of the jobs that, if I may say, some drugs here and there,
Yeah.
because they are eager to get the money, you know, they want to, they must.
To break poverty.
Yeah, to break
Wow.
poverty.
No, but
Well, if
what
you
is
are
it?
listening and you have something to say regarding this issue on spotting poverty among the Ghana youths, you can call the studio line on 020-737-1619. If you have something to say out there, maybe you are a parent, maybe you are a youngster, just grab the phone and give us a call right now on 020-737-1619. The purpose of this is to see how we can solve this problem, because it is not a very good stigma. Is that among the Ghanaian youths? Is it a good
There's no good sign, of course.
it's not good at all. It's not
really
good at
shocking.
all. It is shocking. So, have any of you been in any program geared towards alleviating poverty or getting employment?
No,
So,
personally.
right.
One thing I would like to add to the question of whether they are getting good jobs. There is a bit of discrimination on
You feel it?
the labor market as
Yeah,
well. No,
okay.
It has been proven actually.
Okay.
And what I would like to say, some people are very much aware of that.
Yeah.
And when for myself, when I was unemployed about a year ago,
Yeah.
I solicited for many different kinds of jobs.
Yes. And why were they saying no to you?
Yeah. So at times you think about that, and you might think, okay, this is what is happening here. I might be rejected because I think I have the skills.
Yeah.
I think I have the experience.
Yeah.
So I should be able to get some of these jobs.
Yeah.
But as a certain moment in time, you get a bit frustrated and you might stop, And sometimes it's not their fault. So it's not their fault that they want to get into
Healthcare.
benefit.
Yes. Social welfare.
Exactly. Maybe it's not their fault, but sometimes they get tired of it. My advice would be not to stop, because as there is discrimination, there's also positive discrimination as well, and that is something you can take advantage of if you keep persevering and if you keep working at it. Eventually, you're gonna get there. It's not gonna be the same forever. So eventually, you get there, and I
Right.
think that is a message to take.
Okay, let me ask the financial vrouw among us. Miss Caroline, how do you think, because we heard you say they have to change their mindset, and then you also suggested something for the government to maybe look towards developing some programs that will change the mindset of the youths towards going to welfare. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
All right. Besides that, what else do you think can be done to help the youngsters?
The community itself, I can say that probably more than half the population of migrant population in South Coast goes to church. So therefore, it is a call to the leaders of the churches to take this up. The churches, the pastors have to take this up as a challenge, which means the people that are coming into our doors, it is our duty to make sure that the people that come in have the knowledge that is required to be able to get out of this situation. Like I said, poverty is a mindset. Poverty is a spirit.
Yeah.
So if we are going to church and we deal with poverty, like I say, America has fought poverty by throwing money at it. But at the end of the day, this year, the population of America who live in poverty today is higher than when they started fighting poverty.
Wow.
So poverty is not, we might say, okay, it is real. There is no money. Is that poverty? If you ask me, no. That is lack. I won't define it as poverty because you don't have money. That's not poverty. Poverty is a mindset. That's why it keeps going on and on and on and on and
So
on.
how can the Ghanaian youngster come out of it? Because that's what we have to know. In the midst of them being segregated, being discriminated, being not given the appropriate job that they should have, like we heard our young son Douglas. So he has what it takes to get whatever he wanted. And if you look at our young son here, Kwesi, he has what it takes. But unfortunately, probably they are going to the housing bureaus and they're not getting the job. What can be done? Are they supposed to develop another skill besides what they have learned?
Yes, because technology is changing things really fast. There were companies which were here, like let me say for example, Philip was here, but they have moved production somewhere else. And that's not coming back. Those jobs are not coming back.
Okay.
And so therefore, people have to, that's why I said we have to start thinking outside the box. Which means, for example, parents have a part to play. Everybody, you have to invest in your children. Bible says whatever you sow, you reap. So if you don't invest time in your children, guess what? You're going to reap whatever they find themselves in. Yes. So we have to decide, parents have to decide that, you know what, I want my child to be better than me, than how my parents were. I want my children to be better off than I am. Therefore, I am going to invest time in my children. So invest time in your children, but as a community, we can equally come up with a program, with a workshop, where we encourage the parents to come, please come and learn one or two different things that it can help you with your children at home. And by the way, Douglas is here, my brother Kwesi is here. Start up something in your small community. It doesn't need to be 100 people. Start with 4 people. 4 different groups. Make up a group of 4 youths in your community. Say, this is what we want to do. We want to go. Because by the time I meet you, you know 2 different people that I don't know, right? This comes back to networking. You see? So that's where we learn it. We learn the weaknesses of each other. I can strengthen you where you don't have the strength. And you can strengthen me where I don't have the strength.
But does that provide the money?
The question is,
does that break the poverty cycle?
Let me give an example of how that can happen. For example, I have a card here. It says income for life. Now this is a business I started. When I started the business, it cost me $10 a month, which is less than my telephone abonnement a month.
Yes.
It's less than it.
Yes.
All right. I started this, and when I logged into this website, I learned the skills. I've not gone to school to learn how to build websites.
Yes.
I learned the skills behind this for free. For that $10 a month, I have a website, and then I can learn how to build websites. That increased my skills. What if an opportunity show up for building websites? What happened? I have the skills ready for it.
Wow.
You guys see?
Yes.
So people have to think outside the box. And I learned a thing, if somebody refuses to give you a job, learn to become a job creator.
Well, we're going to take a short break right now, and in case you are out there, you have an input towards this discussion, feel free to call the studio line on 027-37-1619. This is coming to you live from Radio Voice of Naija, your popular radio program on Radio Raso.